All right, is that better? Can everyone hear me now? I'm so sorry about that. All right, is that better? Yep, I just had to hear it back on the back on there. So here we go. Sorry, let me redo that intro. Oh my god, that was so embarrassing. But hey, good morning, afternoon, and evening, everyone. Nick here, and welcome back to the channel. Thank you, everyone, for pointing out that my audio was messed up. Turns out my sliders were messed up, and what I thought was the desktop audio capture was completely messed up. But it turns out it was my microphone that was off. So that was my apologies there. Thank you for pointing it all out. Y'all are the real heroes tonight. So I wanted to do this after seeing a few videos of, like I saw Matt McMuscles do it, where it was like, here's my hypothetical Mortal Kombat roster, and then Maximilian Dude did a video where it was like, hey, here are the characters that need to be in Mortal Kombat, characters that can be there, and they don't have to be, but it's fun if they are, and then characters we can just completely throw to the side and we don't need anymore. So, yeah, so I thought this would be a lot of fun. We should do this, and what better way to do it where I can kind of throw some characters I thought I'd want to include in here, but at the same time, get some input from all of you. If I put someone in here that you don't think that deserves to be in here, we can debate that, and then we can just completely change it out where it's like, okay, maybe they're not going to be in here. This is fine. I'm just going to quickly group all of these. I'm going to do it way different than doing it that way. That looks way more painful. There we go. Less room for error there. So, yeah, so how we're doing this is that I am also going to, as you can see, you're going to have 6 rows, or 4 rows of 6 here. And how this is going to work is it's 24, the red, and what that is reserved for main roster or base roster characters. So we're going to be looking primarily at base roster for now, and then when we get to the end, that's when we're going to include DLC down the line. So that's when that's going to change. We're going to make it where we're going to focus primarily on the base roster for now. And what's going to make this unique is this is not leaning in either specifically going into the new era timeline or if they're going to revert back to this. This is just my hypothetical roster for any roster we do for Mortal Kombat. So we don't have to adhere to what they're currently doing for the new era or whatever they decide to do. This is just going to be, hey, it doesn't matter whoever they get. This is just perfect for anything. So we can throw some people out. We're going to throw some names out in there, but I do want to say fun. I do want to see some of the comments. I want to at least acknowledge you guys. Thank you for coming out. Besides all of the can't hear you, thank you. Carson DeFox put Akuma in there. We're going to discuss guests in a little bit. Freddie Fazbear, hello, good to see you. And then we have, there you go. Thank you, Kenny, for popping in and being my angel. Thank you for helping with that. Along with Lego Master and Braden Hoover. As long as Liu Kang and Raiden are in, I'll like it. Okay, so this is going to be fun. Hooray for Scruff. Yeah, I'm growing it out, okay? I trimmed it today, but this really needs a trim. It's growing up pretty big, and then lately, because of the humidity lately, it's been a nightmare because it just poofs out when it's in that summer heat. Please let my boy Kung Lao be in there. Yeah, we'll discuss that. Hopefully Kung Lao won't die. That's up to the writers at that point, but if I was writing it, I wouldn't have him die, so don't worry. My boy just won't stop dying. Yeah, that's just the Kung Lao curse lately. I hope you put in Su Hao. Spoilers, I don't think he's going to make it in this list unless enough people debate and we make it fun and we get a reason. So yes, what's with the red and yellow? As I described, red is going to be preserved for the base roster, and then the yellow is DLC. I'm only going to do 1 combat pack for this one. All right, Jared bro, please. Oh, you mean Jarek? Yeah, no. We gotta lock Sub-Zero in first, the only character to make it in every single mainline timeline game. Yes, you're correct. He actually has more appearances than Scorpion. So yeah, there's that. Johnny Cage is a must-have. So I'm gonna pull up my notes here that I have made a while back because I had been planning this for quite some time. So the first row, the top row, let's just get right into it. So here we go. So we're gonna look at the top row here. And these are consisting of like the must-haves, the mainstays of every Mortal Kombat game. So if you think Mortal Kombat, it's like cool, you know they're gonna be there. So these are like characters that we know that have to be in these games. They're staples. It doesn't matter if they play like trash or if they're like god tier. This is all just my fun list we're putting together here. And we're starting things off with our boy. Let's get him in here. I'm going to move my computer over here a little bit so I can have more space with the mic. All right. And our first character is a given. Oh, God, he's all the way down there. It's... y'all saw it coming. Come on. It's Scorpion. Scorpion. He's the poster boy. He is in pretty much every Mortal Kombat game except for base Mortal Kombat 3 or vanilla Mortal Kombat 3. So yeah. So there's that. Put in Cyber Sub-Zero. I will say Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Liu Kang, Johnny Cage, Raiden are the most baseline requirements for a Mortal Kombat roster. We are going to discuss on that because that's going to get very interesting. Bihan is in both MK1s. Yeah, you are right there. And yeah, it's the first time that Hanzo Hasashi wasn't in a Mortal Kombat, except for if you want to count cameo roster. Uncommon Oddity, thank you for stopping by. I think I speak for everyone when we say we all want Cole Young in the next Mortal Kombat game. Yeah, he deserves a spot. Yeah, he does. Hanzo Scorpion. Yes, this is... so as I said, this can be either Kuai Liang or it's going to be Hanzo Scorpion. I'm just using a baseline for the designs here, so it doesn't really matter. I'm just using a cool design for each of these characters. Kenny, I'm going to say here, spoiler alert, I'm also not a Cyber Sub-Zero guy, so... we are just going to keep that out of here. But speaking of mentioning our boy in blue, here we go. As many of you probably saw coming a mile away, we have ourselves the other ninja of the series, the actual... poster boy of controversy when it comes to Mortal Kombat, and that there is Sub-Zero with the infamous spine rip. So, yep, there we go. Our first two characters are going to be, you saw it coming, it's Scorpion Sub-Zero. So there we go. So now we're going to get into the other mainstay characters here, other icons of the series. So in my hypothetical dream, if I were making my own scenario for Mortal Kombat, and I already know that Lego Master is going to lose it over this. This here, I thought they were going to do this with MK1, but they didn't. And the next character is, let me get a good screenshot of them, is going to be, where is he? It's Kung Lao. I thought, whoops, that's going to mess with me if I keep that going all day. Kung Lao, I wished was the main character of MK1. Unfortunately, he was kind of sidelined. At least he didn't die, so that was a good thing. But no, I do think that... yeah, Kung Lao, I want to be like the main character, and if he's going to be like the champion, that would be pretty dope. Sub-Zero Fatality concept. Frosty but toasty, but instead it ends with a spine rip. Dad talks Suhao. You guys all want Suhao so bad. Noob Saibot was amazing in the 3D era. Guys, Adam from Cage's secondary chapter is a cameo outside of the story. Yeah, we need Adam as a base roster character right next to Art Lean from the movie. That's what we need. Um, I always hated Cyber Sub-Zero. Not my favorite character. Sorry, man. Hey, look, you're fine. You're not hurting my feelings. Uh, just spitting your opinion there. So you're good. But yeah. So moving on, the goat, and then we got coldy emojis. Yes, but not as Noob Smoke. Noob Smoke would be dope. I honestly think so. That would be awesome. Get this fellow of the stage. Get the fellow off the stage. I'm still here. This isn't a stage I'm on. I'm in my home office. Yeah, my boy. There we go. I would love to see Suhao return. He deserves another chance. Hot take, he has a pretty cool fatality in Deadly Alliance. I actually think it's kind of dope. Can you actually see the screen okay? I don't know why it's not showing anything. I just realized that now. So one moment. I am doing so good at this right now. Oh, you actually can see everything okay. I don't know why. Oh yeah, you can see everything okay. I don't know why my computer was being all stupid. I'm trying to work with two screens here. I haven't done it this way, so this is a little interesting. So we are going to move on to the next character for the... we're going to move on to the next character. And let me find them. And our next character that deserves to be on here is Carl Urban himself. And that is, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlethems, is Johnny Cage. Johnny Cage is starting to become like synonymous with Mortal Kombat now at this point. Like if he's not there, it feels weird. So yep, Johnny Cage is going to be in my roster here. So he is in, and so yeah, I think he deserves to be in here. I do like how they started experimenting with his playstyle, especially in Mortal Kombat 1, not giving him his like energy. So it's nice that he's here. I feel like he's like the face of the series. And even what, like, funny story, when I was talking about Mortal Kombat, like the new one coming out, the first question my parents asked was like, "Hey, is Johnny Cage going to be in it?" And they're like so removed from the series. The only way they stay up to date is like just looking at YouTube videos that I post. So yeah, yeah. Anyone want Cetrion Aguirre? Plot twist: Cetrion's not in here. I'm gonna say that right now. Cetrion's not here. Sorry if I am hurting anyone's feelings tonight. I didn't like Cetrion. I thought she was an interesting idea, just not executed well, and I didn't really mesh with her well. But on the topic of gods, I'm gonna have to switch to different renders because I don't like constantly looking at the ones that I have right now. So I'm on MK Warehouse right now, so I just wanted to change it up a little bit and just get some of the better icons. But the next character we're looking at, and the next character on our roster, is going to be... All right. Speaking of mentioning gods, and I know I saw a few people, I saw Matthew put it in the chat. Next on our list is Raiden. Raiden, I feel like he's starting to become a mainstay. He's not going anywhere. Has been in every Mortal Kombat game since Deadly Alliance. The only one he missed out on was MK3 and UMK3. So yeah, he has like mainstay in the series, so he's got to be there. Collector perhaps. AMA, go home. Go to bed. I hated the collector. I never liked him. Yeah, I see some lightning emojis in here. Am I the only one here that says Shao Kahn is a god and a sorcerer? He's a conqueror. He's just like a tyrant. He's not. I don't think he's really a god. I think Nightwolf needs to be here. I think Nick can agree. All right, Matthew, you're making some bold predictions. I like that. I miss the old Raiden. That's why I put the old design in. I like this one a lot. Tasia from Special Forces. I actually am not. I haven't actually played all the way through Special Forces, so I'm not really familiar with who Tasia is. So sorry about that. What? Really? You guys like Collector? What's going on? Man, I'm just stepping on toes right now. Oh my god, I'm sorry. And then our final character we can put in our mainstays section. While we're here, our final character in this that are like, hey, these are the legacy characters that deserve to be in here, that have been in pretty much every game, at least in some way. And that is the sex icon of the series. That is Melina. I think that Melina is now a mainstay character at this point. Literally, we bullied the team so badly in Mortal Kombat 11 that she was like the final DLC character. So I do think that because of that, it's like, yeah, there's no way that Melina's ever going to miss out. I know, what's his name? Maximilian Dude has made the statement that Melina is like Akuma. Like it like always needs to be there, and when she's not, it feels weird. So it felt super off. I know narratively it's because she was dead in Mortal Kombat 11 until Combat Pack 2. So I'm happy that I think that Melina deserves to be here. So wild guess, but is Creative Fighter here? I don't think that's going to be a thing. I honestly don't think that's happening anymore. Unless they want to make that risk and do something to compete with World Tour, then yeah. But I am going to say right now, just because of the sake of this video, I'm not putting Creative Fighter in here. I just want to go with characters. I am also going to, I'm also going to say this right now. A lot of these are legacy characters. I'm not creating any brand new characters on here. So there we go. That is a reveal for you too. Melina fans are toxic AF. Hey, listen, if I don't put Melina on here, I'm afraid I'm going to get doxxed or something like that. So there's that. Akuma mentioned. Yeah, there's that Akuma thing coming back. Well, if you got Melina, then you need to keep Kitana. All right. So anyone have any... Feather Guardian, you're not late. Thank you for coming. We appreciate it. But yeah, here's the first wave so far. These are just consisting of the mainstays from pretty much every Mortal Kombat game. We have Scorpion, Kung Lao, Johnny Cage, Raiden, Melina, and Sub-Zero. So now we're going to go into the second wave. And the second wave is consisting of characters that show up here and there, but I would love to see return in some way, either get reworked to be either better, or because of how they've been treated in a previous game, I'd love to see them come back just because they were so fun in the past game, like in a previous title, that, oh my god, I want that playstyle to come back in this. So, oh yeah, that's a spoiler, or that's a surprise. Yes, Liu Kang is not in this. The NRS team and even Ed Boon has been like, dude, I'm kind of done with Liu Kang at this point. So yeah, surprise, Liu Kang is not in this. So I'm gonna try and make a MK game without Liu Kang. We're recreating Deadly Alliance here. I guess we're going in that direction. So sorry to the Melina fans, or not Melina fans, Liu Kang fans. I think he should sit out a game, honestly. So we're going to move into the next wave here. You are allowed to debate me on these, especially when we start moving forward on like, let's remove this person and put this person here instead. So the rest of this, I would say, is very, can be altered as we move through. So it's not final that I'm putting in here. So what you see here is not the final list. So we're going to move on to the next character. We have the one... And it makes me think of that one song by Kermit the Frog, It Ain't Easy Being Green. But this time around it is, because Jade is here. We've got Jade. She sat out in MKX. She was brought back in Mortal Kombat 11. Not really my favorite character in terms of playstyle in MK11, but I would like to see what they could do with her, especially with how fun MK1's combat was. I'd love to see Jade come back in like a very fun, unique way. So I think Jade deserves a spot. I think she needs to make a comeback. Um, so yeah, I think that yeah, Jade needs to come back. So when I say that Liu Kang doesn't need to be in, I don't think like narratively he can still be there, but like if he's DLC, I think that would be fine. But I just kind of wanted to like pull him out for a second because his story arc felt like it was complete at the end of Mortal Kombat 11, like him becoming the new Keeper of Time. But I just kind of want to see what a Mortal Kombat game without him would kind of look like, and then let other characters kind of shine here. So we can alter it as I said, so we can either go back and then add some other characters in there. But so don't worry, this is not final. Yeah, Cassidy is excited about Jade being in here. Um, Chameleon and Chameleon. We need both chameleons in here. Good luck, Gopher. I see your comment, and yeah, I think that's. Don't worry, just stay tuned. That's all I gotta say about that. But and speaking of ninjas, one other person that deserves to make their comeback, and I feel like would have been super fun if they were brought in somehow in Mortal Kombat 1, but I'd love to see them in like the next title. And it's our lady in red, and that is Scarlet. She showed up on when I did all having Rain react to all the fatalities. She made it a bloody good time because Rain hates blood, and then she's like, I like her, and now I don't like her. And then I was like, you know what? I'd really like to see her come back in another Mortal Kombat game. So I think Scarlet definitely deserves like a return in some way. So I think she'd be a lot of fun, especially making her have like whatever they made her pull in whatever she was capable of in Mortal Kombat 11, just having it with a faster play style of Mortal Kombat 1. I think that would be cool. Yeah, I like Scarlet in Mortal Kombat 11 too. Just the bones of Mortal Kombat 11, I felt it was too slow. And I liked her speediness in MK9. So if they could somehow like fusion dance the two, I think that would be a lot of fun. Um, a gun seems. Oh, I need to scroll up and see what the context is. Jade and Sonya deserve to be deserve to come back, and I still think they should be playable in Mortal Kombat 1. Yeah, it felt weird that Sonya wasn't in. Like it was cool that she was a cameo, but she's one of those characters that like she started growing on me a lot more um in Mortal Kombat 11, not because of the voice acting, but I liked her playstyle a lot more. And then even replaying her in Mortal Kombat 9 for footage purposes, I thought she was a lot of fun. Smoke. I see someone requesting more ninjas in here. And then I see Reptile and Noob Saibot. Just don't make Scarlet a jobber. Yeah, have her play a better role. Like, I'd love to see these. I also want these characters to have, like, better roles instead of, like, having your designated jobber here and there. So, yeah, I think that'd be fun. Give Scarlet a chapter. Yeah, like, what if it's, like, her origin story? That'd be so cool. The only Special Forces character I think that should stay is Jax. Even if his gameplay is not that exciting, he has enough personality to stay. And if we got a tease of Jax in MK1 thanks to Kenshi. Yeah, that was so cool, like seeing Agent Jax. I just need, I'd like to see him come back in some way. Like, I know we have Geras as like our kinda grappler now, but I'd like to see him come back in some way. I think that'd be fun. I think MK9 is, gameplay wise, was best for Sonya. Yes, it was. Pink Floyd, but Floyd in here is DLC. All right. I hope no combat kids in here. We'll have to keep going through there. Keep Scarlet a blood mage. Yeah, I agree there. I'd like to keep her like that. And I know someone brought up, hey, Jax was mentioned in the Mortal Kombat 9 story, or not Mortal Kombat 9, Mortal Kombat 1 story in one of the endings, and perfect transition because Kenshi is going to be here. I think Kenshi has not missed an MK game since his inception. He is starting to become like a mainstay character, probably the most popular of the 3D era characters, and I think that Kenshi deserves a spot. I don't think anyone's going to argue with me there. Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to fight me on that one and say that, no, Kenshi doesn't deserve to be in this. So, Kenshi definitely deserves a spot. And then now we're gonna get interesting with this one. I need to pull up a different image for this one, and someone called it earlier that it was gonna happen. I need to find a better picture. But yeah, our first surprise character on here. Um, I brought up that I like this character a ton. And what I am going to do is get a nice spin on this one. So we are having the return of one of my favorite underrated Mortal Kombat characters, but with a twist. How do we feel about that so far? I'm curious. All right, yep, I see Friday going and saying Nightwolf. But yeah, I think Nightwolf deserves to be in here. And I think this would be a cool way to make Nightwolf like a thing. Yeah, I do agree that Kenshi deserves to be in every single game, but I am gonna say this: I think if they want to make Nightwolf very unique, I think this is a cool way to make it where Nightwolf can play different, but it can still play along that thing they established in Mortal Kombat 11, where it's different people carry the mantle of Nightwolf. They have the title of Nightwolf, so this would be a cool way to do it. And I've been talking to AMA offline while we were just gaming, and I was like, yeah, imagine if they like made Lady Nightwolf play differently. But yeah, like for an example, like Nightwolf would have like the shoulder charge, and she could have like Rambo's roll instead, and it can go to a low sweep, or she can do something like roll and then like enhance it and go overhead with the tomahawk. Or instead of having like the bow and arrow throw, she could do either like tomahawk throw, and then if you want to enhance it, she can either do throw one and then lob it. So it's almost like Mai's fan toss in Street Fighter 6, where it hits and bounces and goes up, so you can like do some fun cross ups. And I think instead of having like tomahawk, she could use more spear based stuff. So she's more of like an agile character instead of Nightwolf being kind of projectile counter and close up. She can kind of play completely different. I wouldn't say fully zoner, but like make her more of like an agile speed based character and have her kind of be the opposite of like the traditional Nightwolf. Um, but yeah, I think that Lady Nightwolf would be cool. It would be a big risk, and at the same time, I think it's just a good way to like establish that like, oh yeah, we brought up a plot point that yeah, multiple Nightwolves exist in multiple timelines. So either if we go into the new era, we can have a new mantle, or because we've had a dead Nightwolf for some time in the MK11 storyline, if they want to continue that, have a new person take the mantle instead or something like that. But yeah, I think that this is one of those ones, and I know some people would get upset because it's like, oh, you're like changing like the style of a character. I think this is one of the only characters you really can get away with it. It's not that, hey, this is Grey Cloud again. This can be someone completely different. They're just another person carrying the mantle. It could be the descendant of Nightwolf, or even like the person before Grey Cloud. So I think it would be fun, kind of doing a completely unique choice. I just scrolled over at the chat and I realized that it's cooking. Oh my god. I like the idea of Lady Nightwolf. AMA's goated choice. Female Nightwolf is honestly something NRS should do. Yeah, if they brought it up in the ending, that would be so cool to implement. I'd say bring in a new era Cassie Cage, but as Johnny Cage's niece in the Special Forces, that'd be a fun way to spice her up. Yeah, change her up a bit. Great, Nick. And now now you have all the Twitter weirdos calling the game woke. Weren't people just calling it woke in general anyway? That word is like a nothing burger. It means nothing anymore. Goated choice. Bring back male Nightwolf. I explained why I think it'd be fun. Not everything is woke. Thank you. Yeah, it's just I don't know why people get so upset about dumb stuff. A female Nightwolf would be cool, but my goodness, the pushback would be crazy. If they brought out someone to consult the reason, similar to what they did with Ed Boon announcing why Scorpion was in Injustice, and like have like a complete design overhaul of like, hey, we consulted Jim Lee, he made a version of the character. This is why we thought he would fit in there. Also, Mortal Kombat had comic books, so it's cool to have a comic character in here. Like, hey, we wanted to take inspiration from like these native tribes. We wanted to come up with a different play style for the character, have it inspired by actual like native techniques of battle or something, and different tools they use for hunting and gathering or just in combat. Have it just be a different part of the character. I think that'd be dope. It's making me think of Cyrex and Sector in the new era. I think it would still be, it's okay. I would say that that's a very different situation. And honestly, I didn't hate that at all because I felt like it didn't really mess up the story in any way, honestly. If, as long as it services the story or if it's just fine, that's it. Um, Make her fight a bit like Nari from. Yes, that's honestly the idea I was thinking. Have her fight like Naru from Prey. That'd be dope. That was a lot of my inspiration, by the way. And if they ended up getting Amber Mid Thunder to do the face model and voice, that'd be dope too. Um, all right, this is starting to become like oh geez, oh god, this is I don't know what can of worms I just opened up now. Yeah. Um, I don't know. It's not the same tribe, but imagine if she had the rope axe guy. Yeah, a lot of people are just saying just make her Naru from Prey right now. But, all right, so before this starts turning into a fun discussion about Lady Nightwolf, I'm gonna start moving on to the next character. Um, so yeah, let's move on to the next one. And I saw someone else put this in the comments in here earlier. Um, Someone, it felt weird that they weren't there, but it was cool they were represented in some way. But I think they deserve to come back. And that next character is I'm gonna do a terrible impression of their voice. Hello, baby. Did you miss me? Oh god, that was so terrible. We can all laugh at that one. But yeah, Kano. I think Kano deserves to come back in some way. I'd like to see him be a little different. I know they made him super cyberized in MK, or they had him fight more knife-like in MK11, and he gave him like a lot of cyber parts. But if they leaned in more into like Titan, what was it called? Titan Kano at the end of Snowblind. If they had that, that would be dope. Honestly, that's where my inspiration came from. Like having this type of Kano in here, where he's like all, yeah, that was an awful accent. Yeah, I did. I knew it was gonna be terrible. Sounded more like Billy Butcher than Kano. Yeah, I just didn't want to say the beautiful and colorful C word. So yeah, if I said that, it would have been I would have sounded more like him. Make Kano like the 2021 movie and everyone's happy. Dude, if they got Josh Lawson, I think is his name, that'd be dope. But at least have the eye laser metal plate, not like the weird Arcana. That's the one thing we're forgetting about. Sounded like Austin Powers. Yeah, I that's the one impression I can't do, unfortunately. My brother messes with me and he says the only impression I can nail is a Marge Simpson. But another character that I feel like deserves to come back in some way, who isn't in every single game, but I feel like because of the movie, their popularity is only going to get bigger. And they were a lot of fun in Mortal Kombat 1. And it's also funny that they're going to be under this character. And that's our boy in black, the Reaper. That is Noob Saibot. I already can hear Oddity screaming several states away. So, yep, there we go. We have our second row, which I would call the would love to see make it in. But I'd say, honestly, keep Noob Saibot playing the way that he did in Mortal Kombat 1 in some way. That was super fun. A great, refreshing way to do it. Real quick, I'm going to do one thing. There we go. That was a little fun. But yeah, Noob Saibot I think is starting to become like a mainstay character at this point. He is super fun in MK1. I agree, Cassidy. Noob Saibot, the goat of all time, AMA. I agree. Uncommon oddity. Yep, I can hear you scream, my goat. So yeah, I feel like adding Noob in here was a good call. We all stand Noob Saibot, and honestly, I can't wait to see him in the new movie. So there we go. That's our second row. Yeah, we're not going to give him the MK11 voice again. Just stick with the approach they did in Mortal Kombat 1 where they just alter the voice. And that's it. Noob Saibot is already a perfect character as he's getting better each game and is mandatory as he's one of the many pillars of evil within the series. Yeah, he's like a good evil character that's not the main villain. So I'd say he's like a good obstacle for like our heroes. So I'd say that's a good choice to have in there. So now we're going to be doing our next row where it's these are characters that aren't in all the time. And I'd like to see them come back, especially in this title. So here we go. This is our next row, which is the could be in. These characters aren't always mandatory, as history has shown us. But I think they would be great inclusions if they made it in. So we're going to look at, I just need to get the good image of this character. And the next character we're looking at in this row is our good old, not good old, the Queen. Not just Sonya Blade, but it's Carrie Hoskins. Carrie Hoskins is going to be in the next Mortal Kombat. Not a Sonya Blade, she's just going to be Carrie Hoskins. And we're going to figure out, yeah, we're just going to have her in here, and she's just going to be herself. But yeah, no, Sonya Blade. Sonya Blade is super fun. One of my mom's favorite characters. My girlfriend loved her in the Mortal Kombat movie. And in the bits I showed of her in the 95 movie, she loved Sonya Blade. So I think that she's one of those cool characters to have in here. Noob is like the Megatron of Mortal Kombat. I have never watched Transformers except for the Bayformers, and I regret the fact that that just came out of my mouth. So I'm not super familiar, unfortunately. Sonic Nicholas. Yes, you are correct. This is for a potential Mortal Kombat. So this isn't exclusively following Mortal Kombat 1 or 11. It's just like, hey, if they want to like go with the story thread here or just characters, I think that would be great fits. Sonya and Kano are definitely the most bland characters in Mortal Kombat Classic. Sonya's the most broken, but the reason I think she's bland is and feels very last minute put together is because she was last minute put together, stated by Ed Boon. So I think they've been doing the character better over the years, but I would just like to see it where it's kind of like a return to like gameplay style of MK9, because I felt like she felt too drone reliant in MKX and in Mortal Kombat 11. So having her go back to like close quarters combat with like the ring blast would be cool. Yeah, you can't call Mortal Kombat 1992 MK1 anymore. That got so confusing when I was doing video stuff. It's like, oh, I gotta call it classic or 92. All right. This is just for me, but I'd like to see new Era Cabal in his hook sword, super speed, scars, and mask. Yeah, he's just a pain to fight, but I don't care. He's cool for me. Cabal is dope. I do like him a lot. But yeah, I would like to see them do something with him, make him more fun. Honestly, I thought he was okay in MK11. I really liked him in 9, even though he was super busted. But yeah, I think they should go with less military with the design. Yeah, kind of, maybe find a nice gray area between like 90s fitness model and military. I actually, more I think about it, the Deadly Alliance was like a good approach, so maybe something like that. I hate the drones for Sonya. MK9 is the best because of her skills and strength. Damn right it is. Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna keep moving along in here. The next character that I think would be fun, They were pretty cool in MK11 and in X, and I thought they were gonna make it into Mortal Kombat 1, but I was honestly surprised that there was like no mention of them at all. But I'd like to see them come back on one condition. Okay, so we've got Kotal Khan in here. I thought Kotal Khan was pretty dope, but after seeing him rock the Conan the Barbarian inspired costume in Mortal Kombat 11, and then we got Conan the Barbarian in Mortal Kombat 1, it's like, dude, they could have just made Conan Kotal Khan. So I really would like to see him come back in some way. I thought that would be dope. But I do think that Kotal Khan should come back in some way, even if it's just like somehow a prequel story and he's not the Khan or whatever. Or you get to see like in if they want to pick this up after Mortal Kombat 1, he is having a war with Shao Kahn of who gets to take the throne. So I think that would be... We're not giving him the wheelchair. He's not getting the wheelchair. He's not getting the wheelchair in this one. But yeah, I think that he would be a lot of fun. Oh, I hate Kotal Khan. Oh, I'm sorry, Matt. What I'm saying is make him less of a pushover, because he like got whipped horribly in MKX and 11, but he was a cool character in terms of gameplay. So fix his role in the story and kind of give him some of Conan's elements in his gameplay in Mortal Kombat 1. But in the comics, he's fire. Kotal the wheelchair fatal. Yeah, he hits him. He treats it like wrestling. Hit him with the chair and then bam. That's what he does. Give him the chair. Yeah. All right. Yeah, make him the way he was in MKX comics. Yeah, if they can do that, I actually need to read that and do that on stream. I've actually never read the comics, and I really want to. All right, so here we go. Here's a character that was only in one from my knowledge, two technically, three, playable in only one though. But I feel like they need to come back. This is a character that I feel needs to return in some way, make the character more ninja based instead of what he was in like I liked him in MKX, but I liked how he was treated in Mortal Kombat 1, and that goes to Tremor. I think Tremor would be a dope character. So yeah, I think I just saw the comment about Kotal Khan being mentioned. Yeah, so Kotal does exist in the new era as well too, so that'd be cool. But I do think that Tremor would be dope to see in Mortal Kombat once again. Tremor, yeah, so he'd be a lot of fun. I thought it was cool that he became a real boy in Mortal Kombat X. If they made it where he was like crystalline the whole time, or if he was just made of rock and he just had like pretty much how he looked design wise in Mortal Kombat 1, just do that approach. I'd say he'd be pretty cool. Yeah, so I'd say he'd be pretty cool to have in there. And then we have the next character on this list here. This is one of those mainstays. I feel like this is one of those mainstays, and I feel like this is going to be up for debate. People are either on my side or they're not, but this is probably one of the ones I can see us like debating if they need to be here, because sometimes they feel like they don't need to be. Where are they? Here they are. And that next character is Kiri Hiroyuki Tagawa Shang Tsung. Just Shang Tsung. That's it. I feel like he's a lot of fun every game that he's in, and I feel like we need to have like a mimic. I think we need to have like some sort of shapeshifter mimic type character. MK9, it was Shang Tsung. He could soul steal. He could suck the souls of other people. We had Imposter Shinnok in Mortal Kombat X. No, we're not getting Dwayne Johnson in here. I don't care if he's a literal rock. It's not happening. Thanks, Kenny. I appreciate the love. Yeah, they did make Tremor look like a beast in Snowblind. So if they did that approach, that'd be dope. Make him like the hulking beast character, because they started including those like in Mortal Kombat X with Ferrator, and I think having like a big dude, that'd be the right approach. So yeah, I know that was a joke, the whole Dwayne Johnson is Tremor thing, so no worries. The hierarchy, shut up! The hierarchy of power in the Black Dragon is about to change. But yeah, back to Shang Tsung. I feel like he's a character in terms of like, I'm about to sound like a brand ambassador and communications rep for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, but he's a fun function in Mortal Kombat where we have like a shapeshifter. But I would say if we didn't want Shang Tsung to be in because Liu Kang's currently not here, I can say, because I was debating on doing this for a bit, but this is going to be reserved for a wild card slot, but we can talk about that later. But yeah, Shang Tsung I feel like is one of those like legacy bad guys. So maybe he's working for the big bad in this one. But yeah, I'd say Shang Tsung. We can debate that one more later. I do think he is the best Mortal Kombat villain, but I don't think, I don't know. Like I'm still iffy on this one. We'll come back to that one later. Will you make Invincible versus videos when it comes out? I actually want to read the comics first and watch the show. But yes, I do want to do all supers ranked and all finishers ranked for the game. So keep that in your notepads. Snowblind was one of my favorite animated movies of the Mortal Kombat series. Yeah, it was good. My girlfriend and I watched that together, and that's when she fell in love with Kenshi. She thought he was she had the hoots for him. Now we've got this is going to be a interesting one, and yes, I am stealing this idea from I'm stealing the idea from Matt McMuscles. I have to find the right image for it though. Where is a good image for this? I'm just going to use this as an example. I'm going to use this icon as a reference, even though that it's not, oh, wait, hang on. I'm just going to do, go to the latest title, and I'm going to do that instead, because I forgot I can do one other thing. We are going to include a unique case here. I did not do the screenshot correct. Oh, here we go. Okay. You're probably wondering why I am doing this with the character select here, but why is half of Cyrax's face here? What are you doing with him? Why does he look dumb? And to that I say, give me a minute. That's all I gotta say about that, because I think it's time we did something like this with the Cyber Ninjas. So, surprise, and Matt McMuscles, you can sue me for this if you want to go to court. I don't mind. I will give you everything that I own, and it's not that much. So why is it not copying and pasting? There we go. It looks a little goofy. I don't care. But there's a few reasons I want to do this. So I am going to say that we are going to give Cyrax and Sector a single slot together. I think that they would be fun. Like, they kind of can play similar enough at this point, similar to what they did with Mortal Kombat X with Triborg. I did almost put Triborg on here, but I realized that no, this isn't. This doesn't make sense. Like, because the only reason that Triborg exists is because of the variation system. So unfortunately, Triborg would never come back because of that reason. He would never come back. It's a one game limit thing. But I do think if they wanted to make the Cyber Ninjas a style character, so you can either hit down, down, left trigger, actually make the left trigger do something in the Mortal Kombat series instead of switch buttons. Instead of just make them stance switch, actually make it where their consciousness is mixed into one. So they can be like, and then like, it can just be like, and next thing you know, it's like, all right, cool. Their stance slightly switches to do this, or I'm forgetting the other stance, or yeah, this. And then some of their chains stay similar, but their effects are different. So like you can have like some where it ends with like the buzzsaw going overhand, and then it can be like the flame palm, something like that. Some of the projectiles change. Just have it where it's mixed into one character. I think that would be an interesting risk, having at least still two of the cyborgs represented into one slot. So I think that'd be dope. I think that'd be interesting. So we're keeping that there right now. When I saw Matt McNuscles put that together, I'm like, you know what? That sounds like a unique idea. But yeah, I'm gonna say Cytor is right here. So kind of like an old Noob Smoke thing. Exactly. I think that would be pretty dope, doing something like that. What would that be? Duoborg? Yeah, Duoborg. That sounds like a place over in like overseas. Duoborg. But yeah, Sector over Cyrax. I've always liked Cyrax's vibe more. I do like red, so I do think in terms of design, I like Sector more. They need to be different, not similar. I think that would be a good idea, but I'm kind of interested to see what they could do here with this one. Who's number one? I'm probably the second or third biggest MK fan here. That is a debate. I would say, knowing Kenny, he is a huge fan, along with Oddity. I'd say Oddity is a giant fan. We're all fans, but if it came to like a tier list ranking, I'd say we're all on S, but slightly adjusted here and there. Can you zoom in on the grid, please? Yeah, sorry. That is we're getting a little too comfortable there. Let me... We good? Is that better? KS Dixon, I just zoomed in a little bit. Just to make it a little bit easier. All right, I'm going to center it a little bit better just so it looks nicer here. All right. So now we're going to move on to the final character in this, the could be in section. We can, once again, all of these are not final. That's why I love to engage with you all so we can make this more engaging and interesting. Originally, I was going to say this character I would be totally fine if they weren't in this game or in this roster, this dream roster we're making here. But because of how they were treated in the last title, I think they could have mainstay power. And if you have any idea who I am implying right now with this, and I am putting their image here for reference, that goes to our green lizard guy. And that is Reptile. I think Reptile was done best in Mortal Kombat 1. Even though that Mortal Kombat 1 has its issues, I have my issues with it, I think that this is the game that did it best. I think this is the game that did him the best. Reptile was dope in this game. So, yeah. Erika Ishii, if she's not Sector, I honestly would be fine with her being like some other character in the series or something. especially one of the characters I have coming up, so don't worry. But yeah, still saying if Akuma got in Mortal Kombat just like Tekken, then we'd have a secret boss fight like in the arcade tower. Yeah, that'd be dope. But yeah, I don't know, because usually we don't have third-party guests in here, but if there is going to be a Street Fighter character that is going to make it into Mortal Kombat, I do think it would be Akuma. He is that violent. I'd say that makes sense. All right, so that is... so a lot of people are agreeing with Reptile. Yeah, if they keep him... If they treated him like they did in Mortal Kombat 1, actually making him not a jobber and actually matter, then yeah, I'd say keep him in at that point. So now we're going to get into the one, and this is the Wildcard row versus Wildcard row, and characters that I feel I'd kind of give them like the Havoc situation, where it's like they've been gone for a while, let's reinvent the character, we're going to make them cool, reinvent their playstyle if they've been exclusive to the 3D games, let's give them a 2D playstyle. So here we go. We are going to make it interesting right off the bat with, I need to find where he was in. Oh geez, I already spoiled an idea of who it could be. But we're going to make this interesting because we're going to be looking at just unique characters. So there's that. Sorry, my computer's slowing down a little bit. So, yeah, there's that. Sorry for the delay. But here is our first wild card / character that I'd love to see get reimagined. And here we go. If we can get Movado and Havoc in the same game, I would love to see what they could do with Draman. Yeah, I would say I would love to see Draman in some way. I know Ed Boon hates... I know he has an issue with some of the 3D era characters, like Suhao. He didn't like Draman that much. But I think we need weird, creepy characters coming back in some way. So Draman have his playstyle where like he can have like his club be part of like his special moves and he's like a heavy hitter. I'd say kind of give him like armored based attacks. I'd say reinvent the character a bit. Don't make him just a dude that like throws flies and he smells bad. I'd say after they treated Havoc in the main story, I thought it was a good way to reinvent the character. I'd like to see them do something with Draman. I think that he'd be a fun character. Draman and Moloch, one of the duos of all time. My mouse was covering it, and I'm like, oh, did you say one of the best duos? I'm like, that's kind of an interesting take. And then I was like, oh, wait, no, you're just saying he's just a duo. I'd actually like to see Kai come back as a new protege, make him a fusion between Liu Kang and Kung Lao, and give him cool glowing tattoos. Dude, you kind of made a cool character pitch right there. I think Kai would be awesome in a new Mortal Kombat game. I just think it would be very ballsy if they cut him, or if they cut Liu Kang and Kung Lao out of the game. That would be so ballsy. Draman, really, I feel like he feels like a normal grunt in a mask. Club weapon isn't special when games give it everyone a weapon style. I think if they just make him different, like almost have him like a deflect block, like a projectile block where he just his big club come up. Even could do like a charging run with the club, similar to like what Winter Soldier could do in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, where he can like charge at you if you keep spamming projectiles. I think that'd be fun. So yeah, I think this is one of those weirdo characters I'd like to see get some like love. And speaking of characters that deserve some love, and someone being John Vogel said he wanted to see come back in Mortal Kombat X, and I honestly thought he was gonna make it there after they kept talking about chaos and order and all of that, and that goes to Hataru. I think Hataru would be a cool character to see come back. I thought he had a pretty cool design, having the iconic flags on his back. I know he hasn't really done much since ever since he was in Deception. He was barely in Armageddon. I don't even know if he was in the comics at all for MKX, but I think that he would be a cool character to see come back, reinvent him, kind of give him the Lee May treatment, like reinvent this character where he's like way cooler. And I think that this would be a great opportunity to do it. Like, he already has a cool looking design. Just have him play like an integral role when it comes to like the war aspect of whatever's going on, like whatever conflict's going on. And I think that would be fun to have them both in there. But yeah, I think that Hataru would be another fun Lost PS2 era character in here. All right. I love that I see Matthew and Freddy Fazbear becoming friends in here. It's so fun. I love seeing that. All right. Who do we have next that I have written down? Now remember, we can have discussions and debates and all of that in here. So now we have another character that I think would be pretty dope. Someone who hasn't been in a game in quite some time. And I feel like they deserve a comeback. And that is Our Lady Katana. I had so many of you all concerned for so long that Katana wasn't going to be here. But, yep, Katana. She's here. Don't worry. I know some people were freaking out in the chat earlier. But no, she's here. I do think that she deserves to be in here. She is another mainstay character. So, yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't want her to miss out a Mortal Kombat game. She's one of those characters that has a fun play style, always is included into the main story of the game in a cool way. So I'd say that, yeah, keep her around. They always get very unique with the play styles and everything. But yeah, I think that she deserves to be here. All right, now moving on to our next one on here. I know other people have put it on early in this ranking or in this video that we had here. I am going to put this person on here because I was hoping they would become playable in the new era. It was kind of disappointing when they were just relegated to being a cameo. And the next character that deserves to have a playable role why did that go up there? And the character is Serena. Serena deserves a role in Mortal Kombat now. I think she needs to be here. I need tips to defeat Kentaro and MK2 without being cheap. I beat him a long time ago and it was just really annoying. But yeah, I'd say it's hard. He's annoying. Katana is a main character. If she misses a game, it'll end up like Melina and MK11. Yeah, it's just gonna be weird. When I was building this draft out originally, I didn't have Katana on the roster. I'm like, it feels wrong. I can't do that. Serena could have been cool. Sickles for weapons. She uses her demon form and special moves. Come on. Yeah, she is such a cool character. And I feel like she had so much potential, like with everything they brought her in as just a cameo. And I'm like, why was she not in like the main roster? Like, I felt like that could have been like the right call, but they didn't do that, unfortunately. Oddity Evil fangirl over you picking Serena. Yep. The gothiest baddie to ever bad. Yeah. Come on in.
Why?
Just say hey.
I just wanted to make a creepy face at you.
Oh, I can barely see.
I was in the bar going.
All right. Hello, everyone. Here's Ryan.
Hi. I won't stay long. You can get back to your roster.
Who do you like on here the most so far?
Kenshi.
Okay, cool. I told you we were talking about Kenshi after we watched that one movie and you're like, I love him.
Yeah, I do. He's my husband. Sorry, dude.
All right, bye. Noob and Serena on the same roster. It's beautiful. It was meant to be. Not Noob and Sector and Chaos Reigns. Oh, because he's a rated main too. So yeah, I don't think anyone's gonna argue that Serena deserves to be on here. And Freddy Fazbear, if you can't defeat him tonight, you could possibly, if this ever happens, let me find a good picture. I sound like one of those teachers that are like, let me share my screen, stuff like that. But oh, here we go. Sorry. Found it. That is a terrible crop, but I don't care. Whatever. I'm getting the point across. I feel like this character has missed out on MK for so long, and I think they need to make a playable return because they have not been playable since Armageddon. We need another Shokan playable that's not Shiva and that's not Goro. Kentaro definitely needs to come back, and I think he would be loads of fun. Just don't make his jump slam annoying like in Mortal Kombat 2. So yeah, I'd say yeah, he deserves to be on here. Give him fire-based stuff. Make him have some unique weapons. Make his playstyle unique. I think it'd be a lot of fun. I've tried many times. Kentaro is so cheap in MK2. Then how hard is Shao Kahn? Surprisingly, Shao Kahn is not that bad in MK2. I felt like it only took me 2 tries to beat Shao Kahn in MK2. Kentaro took way more time. Hell yeah, Big Kitty back. I'm gonna start referring to Kentaro as Big Kitty from now on, all because of that. So yeah, thank you for the fun name. He's so much cooler than Goro. Goro's cool. He's iconic because he's a MK classic character. And then Shiva got a lot of love and attention in MK9 and 11, and then I immediately hated Shiva in MK11. So I think after that it's like, why isn't Kentaro back? So I think this is a good call to make Kentaro come back. But yeah, so we have that there. And then I would say my final Hey Nick Fun live stream idea. 1v1 viewers, I think it'd be great. I did want to do that, but guess what game doesn't have private lobbies? Mortal Kombat 1. So I have to like keep inviting people. So I'd like to do something like that with like maybe Mortal Kombat 11 because I think it does that. And maybe like MKX as well. But yeah, figure that out. But yeah. Hey Aiden, thanks for coming back. Good to see ya. Yeah, Kentaro does need to come back. So now we have our final character slot. You know what? You guys choose. I want to see you guys put someone in here. Who should take the last spot? So we have the top row, as we've said, is all legacy characters that are going to be in no matter what in the next game. Then we have characters that are here occasionally or have good staying power that are fun. And then we have Matt, are you saying you want to fight in terms of like fighting games or fisticuffs? Because that sounds like a threat. Okay, and then we have the third row, which is like they're not there every time, but I'd love to see them redone in some way, or at least how they're handled. And then we have the fourth row, which is characters I think that would be a lot of fun to make a return. You know what? To make things a lot easier and to not be so confused, Tremor goes down here, and then Katana goes back up here. All right. All right. I see. All right. Smoke, Cole Young. I've seen a Baraka, Akuma, Cobra, um, Ermac, Gearus, another Cabal. I have two Cabals, another Ermac. Um, oh, I'm silly, Shinnok. Onaga would be cool in the new era. Hydro, Cabal for my dad. Akuma, Onaga, Quan Chi. All right. See, okay, Aiden, you bring up an interesting point here with Cabal over Baraka. Cabal is rarely in Mortal Kombat games. He's really fun when he's in. Baraka, I think, only got good in the new era. And I think that's when they made him like a unique character, is because like for a while he was just kind of the jobber of the series. So I'd say that's the only reason that people like him a lot more now. Wish list. Yes, I am doing that. I saw that comment, Rain. We'll do a Rivals one. Oh my god, this chat completely blew up. Rain's the last character in the tower. That's what it is. Yeah, Cabal over Baraka. Yeah, back to that. Cabal is fun when he's there. Baraka in the narrative always feels like the jobber. The only time I didn't really like Cabal that much was MK11, and that was narratively. Ermac, I don't think he needs to be there every time. I honestly don't think he needs to be there every time. Aiden, oh yeah, no, you're good. You can only vote once. Yeah. All right. Fujin, Suhao, seeing a few more. Okay, I'm gonna say this. Onaga, in my hypothetical, is the final boss of this, but I don't think he'd be playable because he's like the beast character. So I am gonna say in this hypothetical, Onaga is the final boss, but he's not gonna be in the roster playably. Prince Rain, if not Ermac. Bro Suhao, man, man, a lot of you guys just want Suhao. One person is very defensive on Suhao in here. Cobra over Ermac. I mean, they did a really good job with Brock and MK1. Yeah, that was the one time I thought he was good, honestly, in terms of narrative and gameplay. I loved him. Yeah, something about Baraka makes him feel like he's just an NPC. Okay. You know what? You all have convinced me. And I was honestly thinking this too, because I already updated my list on here. Let me find just a good image of the character. Our final spot, because I mentioned we have a power character, and that's Moloch, and we also have Kotal Khan and Tremor. We need the speed archetype. Make him cooler than he was in MK11. Make him maybe not as busted. And he would be a lot of fun. So here we go. This is my base roster. And here we have for the base roster, and that is Scorpion, Kung Lao, Johnny Cage, Raiden, Melina, Sub-Zero, Jade, Scarlet, Kenshi, Lady Nightwolf, Kano, Noob Saibot, Sonya Blade, Kotal Khan, Katana, Shang Tsung. We can workshop something there. Cyrax and Sector is one character. And then we have Reptile, Draman, Hataru, Draman, or not Draman, Tremor, Serena, Kintaro, and Cabal. So those are the characters we have in here. So yeah, Cabal is always sick. I liked how he looked like burnt cheese in MK9. I liked his design when he wasn't a Revenant in MK11 a little bit. Maybe if they just like fixed his hair because it looked weird because of the gear system. But yeah, make the burnt skin look a little bit better. So now we're going to have this be a little bit more fun. We are going to go right into DLC Wave 1. And I feel we're going to go right into DLC Wave number 1. And I'm going to say this. I put that poll out a while back about what's your ideal character to guest character range. And the reason I brought that up is because I was going to play into this too. Because I also think we need to have 4 MK characters and 2 guests. And that's how I'm looking at it. So we're going to have 1 guest character, and then I'm going to go MK, 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 and then 1 more guest character. So I'm going to do the easy, because I like horror characters a lot when it comes to Mortal Kombat. I mean, we did have game guest characters, but I think horror is like more the theme when it comes to the MK series as like guest characters that show up. So what I'm getting at is we are having a horror guest character as our hypothetical MK character. And let me explain why I have chosen these. They need to have some relevance in some way to count or be considered. So here is the first one. And I'd love to know what y'all think. And because we know that Warner Brothers is not doing the best on money right now, this is the easiest one they could get. Here we go. We can argue the guest characters later, but let me explain. And I guarantee if this character gets added, Rain is never playing this game with me. This is Pennywise the Dancing Clown. Now, this portrayal of Pennywise is a Warner Brothers character. We had It Chapter 1, It Chapter 2, came out in 2017 and 2019. And then we also have the Welcome to Derry series that's coming out later this year. So I'd say that Pennywise does have some sort of relevance into the series. And I know he wouldn't allow this. This is my dream here, but we can change it up. We can all just change this up and make this like a unique choice here. I know a lot of people are saying art, so maybe we can replace one clown with another one. But I was gonna say to make him work in Mortal Kombat, maybe make it where he doesn't take his full 27-year hibernation, so that's why he can get killed easily and he's weaker. And then the reason that he wants to fight or get the whole power, it's yes, we need Hatsune Miku. That's who we need. Screw it. We're getting rid of Pennywise the Clown, putting Hatsune Miku in here. But yeah, the reason I put Pennywise in here, and then the other thing is, he finished like his tower ending could be him taking the power from the final boss, that being Onaga, and he no longer has to hibernate to feed, and he becomes like the world-conquering being that he is. So I'd say that Pennywise, that's why I think he would work. That's my explanation of why he's in here. His fatalities, one of them could easily be him doing the dead lights thing, and he makes them like roll their eyes back or something. And then his other one could be him turning into the weird like giant spider crab thing, and then just rips them apart. We've already seen giant scale monster characters with the Xenomorph's fatality and Scorpion's animality, so we can try and do something like that. But yeah, I think, and if they are going to make a stage, because I think I would love to see guest characters have stages in here, having it be the pit of where Pennywise crash landed, I think that'd be cool. But yeah, I'd say Pennywise is my pick for a guest character, but it can change. Let's keep going. So our next the character that just screams DLC to me at this point, let me get Google back up so I can find them. Someone's gonna get angry with me on this one. I'm just using this render. I know it's not the ideal pick for the game. Like, I know people don't like this game that much. I'm just choosing it because it was just the first thing that popped up when I pulled up MK Warehouse. But our first MK guest character, I'm going to say it's Smoke. I'd say Smoke is a good DLC pick. Because my approach is, when it comes to DLC, you need to throw a couple legacy characters in there. Make it where it's unique, where like, oh, you're gonna have sellers. You can't just have it be guest characters all of the time. Have it where you have originally the reason you need to have a few characters that are gonna sell people. Like Ermac, I felt was the one Ermac and Takeda were the two characters that sold people the most. I feel when it came to Mortal Kombat 1's DLC. Shang Tsung was the seller for Mortal Kombat 11, mainly because it was Hiroyuki Tagawa providing the voice and likeness of it. And I feel like Smoke lately has been taking a back seat lately in terms of like the narrative. Like just being an Enra and MKX, not even being an MK11, and then MK1. He did have an interesting dynamic between Scorpion and Sub-Zero, but I think it would be cool, like, if they want to use the MK1 timeline, the new era, having it where it's like, oh, he's just training a new person and that's why he's not involved in the main story or the events of the story. So that's where you can fit Smoke in there. And I think he'd just be like, yeah, he doesn't need to be in every single Mortal Kombat game, but I think just Smoke deserves to have some representation. And if it's DLC, I think that would sell people because enough people like him. But yeah. Hey Josh, good to see you. I don't think Kenny's in here anymore. If he is, he's probably just listening in the background. But yeah, Cyber Smoke would be cooler. Maybe make that a costume. Do that like with Tekken. I don't like Tekken 8 as much of how they're handling the game, honestly, or its DLC approach. But make it where one of his costumes is just every character has two costumes, and his second one is Cyber. Just do something fun like that. Oh, Kenny, you are in here. Yes, there we go. I think my audio is moving because I keep looking away from the microphone. Maybe that could be me. But yeah, Smoke, first DLC character. Another DLC character, this is going to be a little bit risky. I think it would be interesting if he was in a combat pack. Even though he's not that old of a character, if they could revise his gameplay, because geez, I didn't like him that much in MK11. I thought he was fine in MKX. If they could have him fit the MK1 gameplay, then I'd love to see him come back. And that is Aaron Black. I'd say Aaron Black would be a fun DLC pick. He felt like he was just kind of a he was kind of just a jobber in MKX or MK11, so he didn't really have much to do in there. So I'd say he'd be fun. Kenny, I am definitely checking out your wrestling video once it's done. I love your stuff, by the way. So yeah, I'll have to check that out. But yeah, I'd say Aaron Black feels like a DLC character. Just maybe change up his gun animations, because I think like if they have him like at the ready the whole time. I did watch that Sugar Punch Studios video where his animations are just all wonky. Just revise him to make him a more like visually appealing character. I think he'd be cool. Maybe if they made him play like Red Hood and Injustice, where he has like those dives with like the quick shoots and then the retreating fire. I think that'd be cool. Give him the Tarkatan blade again. I think that'd be cool. Caltrops definitely need to come back. But yeah, I think that would be cool, having him in there. All right, so now we have our, from my choice here, Aaron's, okay, I'm going to look it back at this. It's super buggy if I remember. Aaron Black is so much fun on MKX. He is, and that's why I was like, yeah, he's a cool character. And then in MK11, I thought he was kind of annoying to fight online, but everyone went for the same meta where it was just like the jump kick and that was it. But what Oddity said, Aaron's a good pick because he's always interesting in gameplay, but he does nothing in the story. Yeah, and visually he's just a cowboy. That's a cool thing to have in the Mortal Kombat series. So yeah, I think he would be in here. Okay, I'm gonna say this Carson DeFox. I am a huge. Here's a picture of me with Bruce Campbell. I saw you put something about Ash Williams over Pennywise. I have this plush that Rain got me before my 3rd marathon of Ash Williams. I'm just gonna say this right now. I love Ash. He's never gonna be in Mortal Kombat. So I'm trying to be somewhat kind of realistic with my picks here. If I wanted it to be my own way, I'd say, yeah, Ash Williams makes it in, but knowing that we almost got him, knowing the legal stuff going on, and just knowing Bruce's mindset, I don't think it's gonna happen. So, unfortunately, I don't think he's going to be in here, and that's why I left him off. Yeah, that's why I left him off here. Yeah, I met Bruce in April. So yeah, here's a fun picture of us too. 2 Michiganders. I did my thumbs up, and he made fun of my thumbs up. So yeah, there was that. It was a fun time. But yeah, unfortunately, I don't think he's going to make it. I'll leave the Ash here for now, though. But yeah, Aaron Black is one of the coolest new characters. When they revealed him in the comics, it was like, dude, I hope he becomes a main character. Or a character in MKX. Like a fun one, not just like a weird side character. Because they did that a couple times with like... I'm forgetting his name. Like I saw his art a couple times, but he's like a gray ninja that's not smoke. So I'm like, yeah... It's cool that they have, they made a comic character and then they made him cool in MKX. Okay. Now, my next DLC. So we have 2 more Legacy MK characters. I'd say this would be a fun one to bring her back. I really need to, like, stick with gender-neutral pronouns, so I'm not spoiling who it could be. But our next... character that's gonna be on here because of I loved how she was portrayed in MK1 because I had been waiting for this character to come back for quite some time. I was like, okay, I want her to be more of like a mainstay. I loved her play style and I'd love to see her come back, and if she's DLC, that'd be dope. And that there is Lee May. I think Lee May would be pretty dope. Doesn't need to play a big role in the story, but I'd love to see her as DLC. Because like if people remembered how she was in MK1, then people would be like, "Oh, she's dope." Yeah. So that's something. Oh, I see a few people. Okay, so I did remove one of my DLC characters. Because I forgot to update it. I forgot I had 5 on here instead of 6. So I see enough. I see enough people putting it in here. So I'm just gonna put her in here now. She deserves to be in. It's also weird that we don't have a lot of lady representative as DLC a lot of the time. But yeah, I think she'd be cool. Especially with how she was handled in MK1. But yeah, that's Ashra. She's coming back. In my MK world, if I'm pitching this to Ed Boon, Ashra, she's coming back in my Mortal Kombat. All right. But yeah, I'd say Lee May and Ashra deserve to come back. Originally, I forgot I had Katana as DLC, and then I just scrapped her. I'm like, nah, she deserves to be in here. And then the final DLC character, a final guest. But yeah, so I imagined this is how I imagined it going on in my head. Funny enough, when I was like thinking of like a fun Mortal Kombat, like, oh, what's the Combat Pack trailer gonna be? It was like, this is how I always imagined it going. It would just be like, oh, it's gonna, instead of it just being like a weird dark void with smoke, it's gonna be the living forest, and in there you're gonna see smoke step out from the trees, and then he's gonna look up, and then you're gonna see it's Ashra. They run up, they start fighting each other for a bit, like almost like the Rain and Melina trailer for MK11. So it was going to be that, where they're fighting for a second. and then yeah, they would go back and forth, and then they'd stop and they'd see one of the lanterns float by, and then there's gonna be like a purple glow, and then it's gonna be Lee May trying to break up the fight, and then she kind of charges in, flips over someone, turns around, and then you see um, Aaron Black peek over with his guns, and yeah, you'd see Aaron Black peek over with the guns, and he starts getting involved in the fight, and then they hear this weird ominous sound coming from the woods, and then that's Pennywise just kind of staring at them, and then so Aaron Black looks over at where what's his name is Pennywise's, and he shoots shoots a few times, and then Pennywise makes a joke that like, oh, your shot's off or something like that, and then you just hear Pennywise or Aaron say the joke, those bullets weren't for you, and then you hear that, and then all you hear is just a heavy stomp, stars, and then he charges at the camera, and then it goes to like the MK combat pack screen. I think he'd be dope as a character. I think he would be dope as a Mortal Kombat guest character, honestly. So yeah. Nemesis, I think, would be an amazing character, honestly. Capcom has already put him in Dead by Daylight. He works pretty well in there, so I'd say have him in there. But yeah, this is the one character I was like, if they're going to bring back video game guest characters, that's something they haven't done since Mortal Kombat 9 with Kratos, because they don't do what's it called anymore, because it's like guest characters exclusive, so that's a problem because of tournament choice. Oh, real quick before I continue, Aiden, I see your comment. I don't talk about my passions on camera like Five Nights at Freddy's or Mortal Kombat. Hey, you're allowed to share your passions, dude. I like that stuff. I know a lot of people make fun of me for sounding like Matt Pat, and I'm going to talk about a game theory, but that is actually one of my passions from high school. I used to talk to a lot of my friends about the Five Nights series. So yeah, I was honestly super happy when they announced Springtrap in Dead by Daylight, and that got my knack back again, no pun intended, about Five Nights. But yeah, if you ever want to connect with me on like Discord, if you want to just talk to me in like DMs about just your stuff, or you just know that this is a safe space where you can talk about it. So yeah, totally cool. You're allowed to just talk more about it in here. Like, this is a safe space. I like having all of you to talk about fun stuff like this. It's just that's what this whole channel is. It's just a safe space where we can talk about our passions, primarily Mortal Kombat, but I'd love to talk more about stuff with you. But yeah, I wouldn't let that pressure you talking about your passions anymore or your content creation. Just keep it up. It's all good. But yeah, you're not stealing anyone's thunder. You're all good, Aiden. It's okay. But yeah, all right. So back to Nemesis. Sorry. Yeah, I see a few people saying that he'd be an ultimate grappler. I'd say if they gave him like a fun projectile with like his missile launcher and then his weird tentacle strikes or something infecting the opponent somehow, that would be unique. And then making the map RPD where like it's burning to the ground, and then there's like zombies on the map. That would be kind of dope. But yeah, I'd say that'd be interesting. Yeah, it is Nemesis from Resident Evil 3 specifically, but the model here is from the remake. I don't know how I feel about Nemesis being here. I'd say it's another fun monster character. We don't really get monster... Actually, no, exactly. We do get monster characters. That's what Freddy Krueger from the Nightmare on Elm Street remake is. But yeah, I'd say that Nemesis would be unique. L choice, okay. Doomslayer should have been in. I don't think he's going to make it in because I would love to see Doomslayer in. That is my top pick as a guest character. I just think it would be hard to translate a first-person character. I know Arbiter in Killer Instinct is like the perfect example of doing that. But I think it's hard lending Microsoft exclusive like a character over to NRS, because the reason the Arbiter worked in Killer Instinct is because Microsoft owns both studios or both properties, so it's just easy to put it over. But if it's like something like that, it's different, I think. And also the fact that it's Mortal Kombat, they're getting ripped apart, they're getting killed, it's different. Um, Nemesis would be crazy, and I know NRS would make him look really good. He would be insane. That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, I had weird dreams about it. I'm like, he'd be cool. Um, all right, I'm looking at more of the comics. I would remove Lee May and put Doomslayer in. I see where you're coming from, but as I said earlier on, I want to go just 2 guest characters and 4 legacy characters. That's just where I'm sticking at. With this one, we all have the same passions: Mortal Kombat and video games in general. Yeah, that's why I like having you here. Yeah, I think a Discord server would be great. I already have a Discord server. Just it's in my descriptions in a few videos if you want to see them. But yeah, I definitely put Havoc in my roster somewhere. I'd love to see him as more of a staple in the franchise going forward. Pinhead would have been sick, but the problem is, especially with Dead by Daylight, it's a rights thing. And that's why he was only in the game for like a couple years before he's like delisted, and that could lead to another Freddy Krueger situation where the game would have to be delisted or the DLC is just pulled where you can't pick it up anymore. Doomslayer in Smash Bros is a Mii costume. That's a different thing though. It's not like he's a unique character in the game though. I think that's different. Imagine Alcina versus Nemesis. Yeah. Yeah, Shredder and Chucky or Michael Myers as guests. I think okay, I was so against Michael Myers in like when people wanted Michael Myers in MK11 because I find him to be like especially if it's like variations and like customization, he really doesn't wear too many different masks. It's just tattered and changed up a bit. It's not like a Ghostface situation where they've made real different masks of the Ghostface mask. So you can't really do much customization with Michael Myers, and he would literally just be Jason all over again with a knife. So it just wouldn't be that fun personally. That's just where I'm at with that. But yeah, Pinhead I think would be interesting. Someone who likes someone who just wants to like do the whole pleasure and pain thing. It'd be interesting doing this on like the Mortal Kombat characters. But yeah, I think that would be unique, especially if like one of his fatalities is doing the whole labyrinth thing where he killed that one guy having all the chains all over him and then like ripping him apart. That'd be an awesome fatality. Yeah, so that's where I'm at with that. All right. So we're not done here. Okay, oh my god. Arnold has been in 2 MK games in a row. We need to have the streak going. No, we're just gonna get him from Commando so we can just be Rambo all over again. So we need another so I guess does anyone want anyone to be changed at this point? Because if you want to know where my brain was originally, I almost completely removed Shang Tsung and I almost replaced him with a playable Floyd. Is there anyone that we need to replace, or how are we feeling about this roster? In case you're wondering why it's been so quiet, I hadn't said it this whole time. I am going to crop this video down, shorten it a bit, and then we're going to make it a video for YouTube for people who didn't attend the live stream. They can just watch it as a full video instead. So I will add like a backing track to that at least. Akuma over Pennywise. That would be unique. I at least wanted to have one Capcom representative in here, and that's why I put Nemesis, like a horror movie character. All right. Okay, everyone's opening the floodgates with characters they want replaced. One, thank you. I think it looks good. I gotta go for a minute. Yeah. We'll be here. Don't worry. Thanks, Aiden. All right. Moloch instead of Hataru. Akuma over Pennywise. Yeah, imagine Akuma doing a raging demon in the trailer, just going for what's his face. That'd be insane. Hataru. Oh, replace Hataru with Floyd. Because my thought originally was make Floyd DLC at one point. I don't know. Goro versus Kentaro. So who are you saying that needs to replace somebody? All right, Floyd instead of Shang Tsung and Su Hao instead of Li Mei. Uh, oh, this is getting interesting. I'd say change Sonya for Jax. Jax can do almost everything Sonya and Story can do. Um, I'd say Fujin and Baraka should be in there. Do we just make another roster where it's like DLC Wave 2? Do we just start doing this? Cobra over Li Mei. A lot of people are saying they want Cobra in. I'm going to say this. If we have Cobra in, then we don't get Akuma. I'm just going to say that right now. Wesker. Oh, that would be interesting. If one of his intro dialogues, like where he like does the Clash animation, whatever it is, and he's just all like, 7 minutes is all I can spare to play with you, or something like that, that'd be insane. But yeah, I think that'd be cool. You can't take out Shang Tsung. Okay, yeah, there's a few people going for Shang. I mean, they always do a Combat Pack 2. Do we make a Combat Pack 2? I can just extend the design a bit, or I'll just put 3 more. I'll put, yeah, 3 more slots on the side. We'll do that. All right, you know what? We're doing it. All right, I am doing it. By popular demand. By popular demand of a couple people. All right. How long has this live stream been so far? It's been about 2 hours. I don't think I'm gonna go super crazy long, honestly. All right. Why am I having a hard time with Photoshop right now? All right. Let me change the outlines real quick on this. Properties. Stroke. We're going to make the outline a different color. Well, I didn't mean to do that. All right, we're gonna make this one green now instead. All right. There we go. Sorry, that took way too long. Lego Batman for the next MK game. All right. Do 3 combat packs. No, that is way too generous at this point. So we're just going to do another combat pack here. And this time around, it'll be still going to do the same approach, similar to what we did with the other MK game here, with the currently what we did. We're we're just gonna do 4 legacy and then 2 guest. So I guess because people were asking for it, and because I want this to be a dream come true, I just want it to happen. Just give me my boy. My brother has talked to me and said he wants to do a video with me where we make a video of like how this character is gonna work in Mortal Kombat. And I cannot find any good images of this guy right now. Oh my god. Guest character number 1 for Combat Pack 2. It's Doomslayer. He's got to be here. This is for me. This one's for me. Yeah, Doomslayer. Remove background. Yeah, there we go. We're cool? Hey Nick, the amazing content, and I really love the corny dad jokes. Thank you. I hope you're not sick of them because they're gonna keep coming. Darkseid would have been a massive pick for sure. Yeah, if they're gonna add more, I feel like that's a weird trend that they're adding DC characters now. But if they wanted to add someone who's villainous, I did almost want to put Deathstroke in here, but I'm just gonna wait off there. It's 4 a.m. in my country. I'm so tired. Well, thank you for spending all of the time coming over here and watching this. It's 9 p.m. where I'm at right now, so if you want to rest up, do your thing. Thank you. I appreciate you stopping by if you're going to bed. All right. If we're talking DC Comics, I'd say bring in Darkseid. That'd be cool if they want to have like a power, like a big like threat. I love the fake transparent PNG background. Yeah. That's how I feel when they're like, it's a PNG, and then you crop it in here and it's not a PNG. I hate that. Doing Combat Pack 2 next. Yes, we're doing that. All right. So we have Doomslayer here. Now, who are some other characters that feel like they could be in here? Okay, I see people saying for Cobra and then Akuma. One of them would be making in. One of them would be making it in. They're both Street Fighter characters. They wouldn't be a thing. Hey, Brayden. Thank you for coming back. Someone should put Rip and Tear in the background. I'll put Rip and Tear when this is like the live or the edited version. Let's get wild because Godzilla's crossing over everywhere. Make it one of the Zilla things from the 1998 movie. Deathstroke would be dope. I think he would be awesome. He would be my go-to character for a DC representative. All right. Okay. Who deserves to be DLC now? I see a lot of people saying Suhao. Did we just put Suhao in here because you guys are asking for it? Because I personally say no. I don't think it would happen. Oh, actually an interesting one. Do we make Liu Kang DLC? I was going to say, if we put Liu Kang in DLC, we've got to put Shao Kahn in there too. Fujin's... Okay, I'm going to try and not repeat DLC characters. So I don't want to do Fujin again, unfortunately. Yeah, I was going to say, yeah. Carson, I agree with where you're coming from. Because Cobra's already a Street Fighter character. So it's like, okay, yeah, if we have Cobra and then Akuma, they're both the same archetype. Okay. Let him sit out a game. Cobra? Yeah, Cobra's never been in an MK game outside of Deception and Armageddon. I don't think he's going to be in. Okay, I see enough people saying it. All right. Yep, he's going to make it in. Shao Kahn, he's there. Yeah, put him in the game. I think he'd be a fun, playable character. Make over $1 billion. Yeah, it would be Morbin time with that. Where's Bo Raicho? I don't think he needs to be here. I'm sorry. Yay, zombie Liu Kang. Okay, I think people would be upset with that. No Face? Oh, my brain went with Studio Ghibli No Face. I'm like, what? What are you guys on? But I'm like, oh, you mean No Face from Special Forces. All right. I did think this for a bit. Oh my god. Do I... Okay, I don't want to repeat DLC characters, so that's why I'm like, I don't want to put Shang Tsung in DLC, because either he's going to be on the roster or he's not at this point. I'm going to put him on here, because it feels weird not having him there now. I'd be fine with him not being base roster. Yeah, I'd be fine with him not being in the base roster, but I feel like he needs to be in the game somewhere. So I'd say that is Liu Kang. I don't care if it's Fire God or if it's just whatever. Liu Kang needs to be there. It'll feel weird without him there, but I don't think he needs to be base roster. All right. I thought denying Fart Man. I'd have Dramon's mask as a story corruption plot device and then have it as his own character. Tommy Vercetti from Vice City, his revolver and the chainsaw he uses in one mission. Yeah, Liu Kang, okay, all right. I remember I said I want to be a little bit realistic with some of these. I feel like that's a threat I'm getting in there. I'm not going to sleep unless you put Su Hao up there. Oh my goodness, am I getting threatened right now? If it's MK2 Liu Kang, yeah, make it where he's back to like not being a fire god. Kind of give him the treatment like he did in MK Battle, like what Raiden did in Battle for the Realms, where he gives up his immortality. Like, I'm gonna represent the tournament and whatever. All right. Okay. Next character. All right. This is gonna get interesting. I am curious to know what you all think of this design. All right, here we go. This is going to get interesting. I did not mean to do that. I'm sorry. How are we feeling as Jax's DLC? Jax, yay or nay? I'm curious. What do you guys think? Because I think he's kind of DLC at this point. We have Sonya Blade in the story as the Special Forces representative. I don't think we need to have both. We have Sonya and Johnny Cage who kind of fit the Special Forces fit. Jax has been in every... I'd say that Jax has been in... like, he's in every time Sonya is, no matter what. But I still think that, like, he'd be fine as, like, a deal. Jax does not need to be in MK3 Jax. I just chose this render. That doesn't mean it's the style. It can just be any Jax, is what I'm getting at. In my opinion, Jax should replace Kung Lao, and Kung Lao should be DLC. Ooh, that's an interesting one. I think Kung Lao is main. I think Kung Lao is there because of story purposes. So now we have room for a guest, and then we have room for a DLC. Johnny Cage's boss from Mortal Kombat 1. Who was his boss? I don't remember. Was Adam? Are you talking about Adam the Traveler with him? Liu Kang and Jax make sense as DLC. Yeah, Liu Kang definitely does because I feel like he's just kind of like a mentor now. Like I don't think he really needs to be there all the time now. Hey Aiden, glad to see you back. All right, we're trying to figure out one more DLC for legacy characters, and then one more for guest. I'm the horror master. Who? What horror pick would you choose? Because we have, I'm being specific with my guest picks are people who can get mutilated and it'd be fine. So I'm not gonna put like a weird pick in there for DLC. I also want to be a little bit realistic. Agent 47, Dante or Virgil. Okay, I already have a Capcom representative in here, so we might swap that out possibly. All right, Matthew, if you do stop at my house, I'll have the police on standby. Okay, let's do our last MK character first, and then we'll do our last because I've already seen someone put this character several times as guest, so I'm kind of confirmed on that. So our last MK slot. Should it be a good guy or a bad guy? No, all you missed so far, Aiden, was me making a second combat pack and then just filling out 4 of the slots. Great Kung Lao, I'd say if we have Great Kung Lao, we remove Kung Lao then. Regular Kung Lao. But regular Kung Lao could be Great Kung Lao. Remember, this goes for any timeline. Just that character gets represented in some way. All right, we need a bad guy. Because so far we are kind of 50-50 when it comes to... Oh, we have neutral, but Lever kind of does his own thing, but it's definitely for like the good. More on the gooder side, which is Scorpion. Kung Lao, good guy. Baddie, Sub-Zero, kind of neutral again. We have a good healthy mix of people standing their own thing, but we need someone who's more of like a villain thing. What's the count in good bad guys? We need Floyd, Blaze, Madame Bo would be super fun. I don't think Madame Bo would be like a main, like a character, like a playable character. Okay, you know what? All of you have convinced me a little bit. I'm gonna get a little bit risky. Yeah, I was gonna say that the thing is, if we get Great Kung Lao, then we have to remove 2 characters, because if it like narrative purposes. So we are going to, because I would like to see them work in some way. I cannot find a good high quality image of this person. So I'm gonna just go with this screenshot here. All right. I think he'd be fun. And I think at this point, because he literally just borrowed moves from other characters, this is an opportunity to make him play like his own character. Make him the Prism Ninja. The Prism Combatant. All right, so we've got ourselves Floyd, the Pink Ninja. Give him like an actual playable role instead of being like a secret, because I feel like whenever they add a secret character, they become playable later. Like with Reptile with MK Classic, he became playable in MK2. Noob Saibot was a secret in MK2. We had him as a secret in MK2, playable in MK Trilogy. Rain was a rumor in MK3, became playable in Trilogy. And then we had Ermac rumored in MK1 and 2, played up in UMK3. So I feel like he would become a playable character. All right, I'm calling the police then. I saw Matthew's comment. All right. Um, you know what? We will put Suhao in here. You know what? Hang on. I can't show this image for long, or else YouTube will think it's an issue. But our final DLC spot for the guests is is Suhao's severed head. Here we go. All right, how do we feel about that? Is that better? Oh, there we go. All right. All right. Thanks, man. I can finally sleep. There you go. It's all for you. All right. All right. But if I do want to be realistic with my final character on this video, and someone that even the creators said they're open to including on here, and I think because they're more of an indie character, they're kind of easier to acquire. And once again, it's that horror itch. Say it with me now. It's Art the Clown. Yep, Art the Clown. All right, there we go. All right. So there we have my 36 roster for the hypothetical Mortal Kombat game that I would pitch. Yep, I think Art does get mutilated. He has this trash bag of weapons, so he's able to use whatever. He can literally he could literally do the bedroom scene as like him that could be his fatality. And then one of his victory poses could be like the dead body in the back, and it could just be like a pool of blood, and it could be him in Terrifier 3 just making blood angels. Like that'd be so funny. Yes, I'd say that yeah, Art would be a perfect fit. Even though he doesn't talk, it would just be like, oh no no no, like him talking to his just talking with his horn. But yeah, I think Art would be a unique fit, and it would be another horror icon, so that'd be fun. But yeah, I'd say Art is my final DLC character, my final guest, and just character on here. But yeah, also the other reason I brought this up just a second ago too, Damian Leone and David Howard Thornton have both said they want Art the Clown in Mortal Kombat. Yeah, that's the guy who plays Art and the guy who created the character are like, yeah, he would be awesome in Mortal Kombat. So if they're already putting like it on the table, like the offer, then I'd say that yeah, just do it at that point. Yeah, and you get two clowns fighting. We get the yeah. Someone just pointed it out. Feather Guardian, thank you. They always have a fun dynamic where it's like two guest characters that have like some beef with each other. Like we had two slashers. We had Jason Leatherface. Okay, maybe not really. We didn't get Freddy versus Jason, but we got Alien versus Predator. Two extraterrestrial monsters fighting that have a history. We had Terminator versus RoboCop in Mortal Kombat 11. We had, which is also a comic book series. We had Homelander versus Omni-Man in Mortal Kombat 1. And now it's the Battle of the Clowns with They're clowning around with Pennywise and Art. And then we have 2 video game guest representatives where we have Nemesis and Doomslayer. So I think that'd be good characters to include in here. But this is my roster. But yeah. So I'm going to save this and I'm going to post it on Twitter and my pages. And like, here's my hypothetical roster. What do you think? But yeah, this is the roster I would be satisfied with if it made it into the game and if I worked on Mortal Kombat. This is what I'd push for or try to tell Ed Boon, hey, this is who we should try and strive for is this. But yeah. Doom versus a cyber monstrosity. Now you make me want to play Doom, actually. But yeah. So all right. I'm just gonna go back to the roster or just the chat just to kind of talk to y'all before closing it out for the night. No female guest. I have thought about it for quite some time. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Apparently Sarah Michelle Gellar says that no, she wouldn't want to do it. And apparently they've already said they wouldn't want to do it, like the rights holder. And Ed has said they shot their shot several times. So it just sounds like it won't happen. And I can't really think of anyone in current relevancy that would make sense, unfortunately. The only one I could really think of that would be cool as a video game character would be maybe Huntress from Dead by Daylight. But then again, they don't really get mutilated, so that's the thing. The Bride from Kill Bill, that'd be cool. I think the thing is, it's too far gone, I think. Like, that's like an early 2000s movie. So I think it's kind of like a weird pick at that point. Bayonetta is apparently a Nintendo character now. So I think that would be kind of a weird hurdle to get. Duke Nukem, he hasn't really done anything, and I don't know what's up with him right now. Buffy wouldn't work. The Bride wouldn't work neither. Harley is the only one who would make sense. Yeah, I think Harley would be the only one that would make sense. And then again, it's another Batman themed character. I don't know if people would be sick of that. Morrigan is the Darkstalkers representative. Oh, Red Sonja would work. Funny enough, the reason they added Red Sonja is because there was that, or Conan is because Red Sonja was in the works, and I think it came out or it's coming out soon. So that's the reason why Red Sonja was there. Yeah, the only realistic female guest character would be Harley Quinn. As much as you love or hate the inclusion of DC characters, it's going to be Harley Quinn, I feel, would be the next one. Probably voiced by Tara Strong. And yeah, hopefully not borrowing from Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Poison Ivy would be pretty dope. But I don't know if that would happen. Yeah. Good roster. Night, everyone. Thanks, Brayden. Appreciate it. Yeah, sorry, Cassidy. I saw your comment about Baraka. Yeah, Baraka's kind of a jobber, and I think the only reason that he would be dope is because he got so much love in Mortal Kombat 1 that I think he would just be he's a fun playstyle, but I don't think he has to be there for the story. Catwoman, I don't think would work, unfortunately. Oh, it came out in some states. Red Sonja. Okay. I think Harley was meant to be in Combat Pack 3 for MK1. It was rumored that Doomslayer and Harley were supposed to be in, but I didn't think that was true, so I didn't want to buy into it. But yeah. Anyone want to fight any of these inclusions? All right, does Shang Tsung not deserve to be here? Does Hataru not deserve a placement? Should Havoc be DLC? I don't know. Is there anything? Because if not, I think we're pretty good. Peter Griffin in Injustice. Hey, Lois, I made it as DLC. Yeah, something like that. I don't want Injustice Superman. Yeah, I don't either. That was an embarrassing voice crack. But yeah. Yeah, Harley Quinn was supposed to be in MK vs. DC along with Doomsday, Quan Chi, and Kung Lao, but they were canceled because of Midway going bankrupt, and then Warner Brothers bought the company. Rain from Blood Rain. Yeah, that would be cool. I don't know if there's anything going on with Blood Rain right now, but that would be a cool inclusion. I'd say Jax doesn't need to be there. I'd say a grappler character is fun, but he doesn't need to be main roster. That's my argument there. Also, please don't forget to hydrate. And yeah, I am also, as you can probably see in my Twitch layout here, or my streaming layout, below me is a QR code to the Raiden Science Foundation. I don't stream that often, but I'm going to include this more when I start streaming more, because I want to do another build the roster for, it's not, because it looks like this is going pretty well, and I'd like to do something like this again, maybe for Injustice 3, like a hypothetical Injustice 3. So yeah, we could do something like that, and then possibly like what my pick for a Capcom versus SNK, or even a Marvel versus Capcom would look like. So yeah, I'd still like to do build the rosters together. But yeah, down below, I'm working with the Raiden Science Foundation. Anything that you donate goes to helping children or people who have UBA5, or just help do research for rare diseases. And I got to meet with the co-founder of the Raiden Science Foundation, and yes, he's very passionate about his mission. The guy's very wonderful, and I will be working with him later again this season, or in the fall, for a campaign, so be ready for more updates about that coming soon. But yeah, so if you ever want to contribute and help out in the Raiden Science Foundation, just scan the QR code down below. We're making the goal, if I'm correct here, the goal, I'm trying to get to $500 so I can get it over to the organization. Anything would help a ton. But yeah, I think, but I'm going to be working with the team in the fall, so stay tuned for updates regarding that. But yeah, I'd love to do more of these live streams where we build the roster. I did see another idea, someone saying Mortal Kombat versus Street Fighter. Yeah, that'd be fun. Just throw your ideas. I'll put a poll out there of like, hey, we'll do this, we'll do that. Injustice 3 build the roster next. Yes, I will do that next. That will be the next video. So we will do that as the next build the roster together. But yeah, as I said, I will screenshot this and I will put this on socials and we can talk more about it. And then I'll put a poll together of, all right, after the Injustice 3 build the roster video, live stream, what should be next? And yeah. Thank you. Live streaming is still something I'm trying to get used to doing. I don't do it that often, and I think it'd be a lot of fun to do it more with you. That's why I was happy to do something like this where we can engage the whole time. So yeah, if you have any ideas, or if you want to do like live streams where I play games with you, like hosting a tournament and having you all participate, that would be dope. So stay tuned for updates there. But yeah, I think that wraps it up for this stream. But yeah, Mortal Kombat versus KI or Tekken, that'd be dope. Yeah, we'll throw ideas out there. We'll get something going. But yeah, I just want to say thank you all. Y'all are amazing. I am always anxious when it comes to live streaming, especially after. Thanks, Matthew. Especially because I work a 9 to 5 and I'm very busy. That's why my upload schedule has been a bit slower. It's because I work. I'm tired. I do a lot of stuff. I do a lot of stuff going on. I have a lot of stuff going on in my life, but I still want to do stuff with you all. Oh my goodness. Someone is oddity before you leave. Come on. Come on. Oh. She's angry. This is Kat. And she says hi. And she also says, put me down. Yeah. Now she's just rolling on the floor. I'll get my cats around in here more often. But yeah. Thanks, Feather Guardian. Thanks, Lego Master. Yeah, you guys are great. I love your support so much. I seriously, I can't thank y'all enough. And Aiden, no need to apologize. It's okay. But if you do want to talk to me about anything, my DMs are open. If you want to just friend me on Discord, we can talk to each other. Love to connect with you. But yeah, no need to apologize about that. It's okay. This chat is going to be a safe space, so you're okay. But yeah, thank you all for joining in for an amazing stream. I appreciate all of your support, and just let's get ready for another stream down the line. I want to make this more of a regular thing. Maybe I'll have Rain join me here and there. I do want to have a fun one going with the Legacy Collection coming out soon, and we'll make it like a fun review or something. But anyway, that's about it. Thank you so much for all of your support. You already know who I am. My name's Nick, and have a wonderful rest of your night. Bye-bye.